All right. Hey, what is up, everybody? My name is Dana, and welcome to the Ice Cut podcast. I'm one of your hosts, along with one of our other hosts, my girl Casey.
What's up, guys? I'm Casey. Welcome back.
So,
Yeah. So go for it.
this episode is just all about nationals, like our predictions, our preview for the event. We will both be there. So, if you want to come and see your new podcast host, we'll be there. But don't be afraid to say hi when you're there. I'll probably be coaching until Saturday, but Casey will be vibing. But if you see us, don't be afraid to say hi. But first question is, it's in Vegas. Okay, so like, have you been to Vegas before?
I've never been to Vegas and I tried to get time off of work to go. I think I can leave Friday night. So I'm going to be there literally just for Saturday and then have to fly back on Sunday, which is ridiculous. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just trying to go to Vegas for the weekend. And they're like looking at me like I have five heads and they're like, you're going where? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm just going to Vegas to watch ice skating because like like most people are going there like 21st birthday or like gambling, like the hangover and like
Yeah.
ice skating. I know.
But
Have you
like
been?
my friends.
Exactly. It was like, it's basically just like, I want to go hang out with my friends. So yeah, I'll buy a flight across the country. It's fine.
Yeah.
What about you?
I've never been to Vegas either, so I'm kind of excited. I'm not excited though, because I'm not a big like super touristy like city person. So like I'm not really sure I'm gonna vibe on the Las Vegas Strip. I feel like that's not gonna be for me. So I'm
You're not
bummed.
going to be gambling in the hotel until 7 a.m. every day?
No, absolutely not. I'm not gonna be out there spending all my money and like gambling. No. But I'm super excited for the event. I personally love nationals. Um, I think it's just really special. I think it's a really special event to have and a really special event to be a part of. So like all the kids that get to qualify from like the Juves all the way up through like senior and senior elite 12. Like it's just a special event. It really is.
Yeah. And I think that one of the really great things about nationals too is like once you get in the higher levels, you kind of forget almost how special it is sometimes because it's guaranteed you're going to go. Like senior, there's four teams. Junior, every team's going. Like you automatically qualify. You don't have to like try to go because as if you're on the team, like there's only 10 junior teams, they're all going. But if you're on like intermediate, like you have to qualify to get there still. Even novice, I'm pretty sure still has to qualify. But
Mhm.
like intermediate, it's like four teams from each coast. That's it. And like juvie, same thing. Like it's highly competitive. Like I think we like qualifying for my first nationals in 2004 was a huge deal. And yeah, like I remember we were so excited and all that stuff. And like it was like there was like I think nine teams in juvie at Easterns that year, nine or ten, and like the top four went, and that's it.
Yeah. Like I remember, wait, so you said your first nationals was 2004. What level were you? Juve?
I skated actually. It was so my first nationals was 2005 in Lowell, Massachusetts at the Songus Arena.
Oh,
And
yep.
I competed on juvenile and novice for Team Millennium. I was 9.
I
I
remember,
spent
yeah.
7 years on
Yeah.
novice.
My first nationals was Juve. I was skating blades. And I think I was also 9, but I don't remember like what year that was. But I just remember being I remember being like 9 years old and being like, oh my God, I'm going to nationals.
Right? It was such a big deal. Wait, was it the nationals in Alabama?
I I think I went to the nationals in Alabama.
I think that was 2002. I think or 2003. I missed that one because San Diego was 2004. That was the year before I went.
No, oh, it
Also,
was before that. It was the year before that. So whatever San Diego was, because that was the year I was on blades and I cross skated
mhm.
to intermediate. And that was when we skated to the Copacabana and we won nationals that year. And that was when Jenny McMahon was pregnant with her second kid, Colin McMahon. And we were like, Jenny, you're not allowed to jump around because you might have your baby.
Wait, that's so crazy that you won nationals when you were like a newbie. Because like my first team, like we made it to nationals. I think we got like 10th, and like in novice we were like 12th of 13, and then and I think like my second year we were like 8th of 8, and like
Well,
I don't
like
know, like
my
I was
first
not
one,
good.
my first one, I remember we were just like so lucky that we qualified. And then the year after, I cross skated. Like I was definitely like the youngest and one of the weakest kids on that intermediate team. And like I know it. I was 10 years old and I was skating with kids who were like 16, 17. Like they were so good in my eyes. And like I was a little kid that was like falling all over the place. So I didn't skate intermediate because I shared that year, but I had a full spot on Juve. So I skated full time on Juve and competed at nationals at Juve. But when it came to intermediate, my coach was like, yeah, it's not for you. And I was like, you're right. It's not for me. Like, I'm gonna go stand over there on the wall. So like I didn't actually compete, but like it was a fun experience. It was cool.
Yeah, I feel you. I think my first year I cross skated juvie and novice, and I was too young to skate novice because you have to be 10, and I was 9 for the season because my birthday is in January, and I was listed as an alternate, but I still competed. I was like, I remember like this is the most like ridiculous thing because like we had a boy on our team who was like 6 feet tall, and I'm like 9 years old, like 4'8". And we were doing a traveling circle. It was in basket weave. Remember, like I was between two really tall people, and their hands were like right there. And like thinking back on it, like those first 2 years of novice, I was like 9 and 10, and Jenna Longo was on the team. And then I was like terrible. I was like 10 trying to skate a novice program. The next year she went and made Hated Nets, and she was like, like one of the most famous Hated Nets of all times, obviously.
Yeah.
But I was like, bro. And I was on the I was on that team before, like ugly glasses and like
Yup. I remember
look at how far we've come.
I remember being my first year in intermediate. Yeah, I was 10. And this was when like Blade still wore like we would wear like these velvet dresses and like my favorite thing was getting long sleeve shirts from competitions. And I had this one from Porter and it was like tied like rainbow tie-dye. And I remember we were doing our egg beaters and I remember I was wearing glasses and someone knocked my glasses off my face in the middle of the egg beater and I'm trying to find them in the middle of the egg beater. And my coach is like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know, I'm 10. I was like, I'm just vibing.
Dude, those are the best days though. We traveled our circle the wrong way at Easterns one year, and nobody noticed
I love
when
that.
I was on Jew. We skated to the Muppets, and the front half of our dress was Miss Piggy, and the back half was Kermit the Frog.
Wait, that's kind of cute though. It was probably really ugly, but it was like, it's such a cute idea.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Anyways, what were we talking about?
I don't remember. But
Oh,
let's go into like favorite,
nationals locations is what
yeah,
we were on.
yeah. So I think I don't know. Like, I don't know if I really have a favorite nationals location. Like, I've been to a lot of places, but I don't know if I could really like pinpoint one as like my favorite because like each of them are so special, you know?
I know. I think a lot of the times it's tied to good memories there because like I really liked nationals in Minneapolis in 2010. We also won nationals that year. So I
That was
think
my
that
first.
one, that one's nice. I think everybody likes going to California. Like 2011 was California. I don't know if it's been there since. I don't remember, but like I think, everyone likes going to California. So that one was fun. Colorado is always special, but it sucks skating in Colorado with the altitude. So I don't really like nationals there.
Yeah.
Um, I don't
I
know. Yeah,
will
that is a
say,
hard one.
I will say, I think my favorite like location to skate is probably Colorado. And like you're right, like it is tied to like memories, but I think that every time, at least for me personally, every time I skated in Colorado, like my team did really, really well. Like one of my other like national championships from Blades and intermediate was in Colorado. My like I think I skated in Colorado like 3 times for nationals. And like the last one I competed was like mine and Megan's like final skate together.
Hmm.
So that like it has like a little bit of a sentimental meaning, but like yeah, I've competed there like 4 or 5 times probably.
Oh, I think I know. Top two for me, I'd say, like just like locations wise, I don't really necessarily have uh well, the Dunkin' Donuts Arena in Providence, I think is my favorite.
The
Won my first
dunk.
national champion there, but I think I skated 3 nationals there and like an Easterns or something like that. Um, And I also really liked nationals in Portland, Maine in 2009. Like I love Maine. I'm a big Maine fan. But it's never been up there again, but I think that was a fun one. Like being on the coast, good food, all that stuff. And that's not a place you normally get to go to for skating competitions. So that one was a bit more fun, I think, rather than going to Michigan constantly.
I would agree. I think that one was fun because I don't think a lot of people go to like Portland. Like not a lot of people go
Mhm.
to Oregon and like Oregon doesn't have a lot of like good skating. So it was really interesting to like have it like up in that area too, which was really nice.
Oh, I said Portland, Maine, but Portland, Oregon was a good one too.
Oh, that went right over my head.
Yeah, I was saying
I went
Maine in
through the
2009, but
bum.
I think you're saying 2000, I think was it 2019 was Portland, Oregon?
18,
18.
19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Same thing. Cool.
Okay.
Um,
This is probably going to
yeah,
be the
also
same for
I
both
really
of us.
wish what?
I was gonna say this is probably going to be the same for both of us, but what is your favorite nationals moment?
Oh. Um,
But we can go back to that. What were you saying?
oh, I was gonna say I've always been so jealous. I think it was the 19 I don't remember the recent years that we were skating where nationals was, but in 1994, nationals were in uh it starts with an A in Alaska. Anchorage. Nationals, synchronized skating nationals were in Anchorage, Alaska. I believe it was 1994. And I'm like, can we go back there? It's always been my dream to go to Alaska.
I was
But that'd be so cool, right?
That would be fun actually. That would be a really
I
expensive
mean,
competition.
that's true. I mean, I also spent years trying to join the Alaska Association of Figure Skaters. Um, because like legit years. I was like, I tried to make that my home club so many times. I like emailed everyone I could find because I was like, if I have to become a member of UFC figure skating somewhere, I'm going to be a member of the Alaska Association of Figure Skaters because that's where Keegan Messing was from when he
Yeah,
was still competing for the US in like 2010 when he showed his spontaneous yo-yoing skills at nationals, and I was obsessed with him.
I love
And he
that.
wore his cowboy hat. But
Yeah.
anyways, completely unrelated. Favorite nationals moment, go.
Okay, mine is absolutely okay. I have three. I have three.
Mm-hmm.
First one is when I skated with Starlights, and it was our first year being senior, and we
Mm-hmm.
ended up medaling. We were probably the happiest fourth place team in the entire world. No one ever wants to get fourth, but we were so happy because we were basically like a bona fide junior team skating senior because they're like, hey, can you just like go skate senior for a little bit? And we're like, yeah, sure, it's fine. So that's like number three. Number two is my last skate at nationals with Megan. That was really, really
Mm-hmm.
special. That was really, really fun. Loved that. And my top one, 2019 Nationals short program. They say you never remember points, 82 points. That like that was the wildest thing for me. And I'm sure it was for you too, because we knew that that was not a perfect skate. Like, we knew that there were mistakes. Like, Samantha, God bless her, she stayed on her dang feet, but she almost fell over. She was like, "Oh my God, I almost fell down." But like, we knew that that was not a perfect skate, but we put out the performance that we needed to, and that for me was like that photo will forever
Yeah.
live on my computer.
I knew that was the one you were gonna say. That's definitely a top as well. I think it's just like, the reaction, like you think you did well, but you're not really sure. And then like the crowd erupts and you're like, what's going on? What's going on? Like that's like one of those amazing, like we'll never forget feelings. Yeah, I'd say that's definitely my top like nationals memory as well. I think for me, another one that was really solid was for 2012 nationals. That was the first year they had star mates in intermediate. And me and Eliana Maraska cross skated down from Lexettes, and there was two girls that cross skated down from Ice Mates, and there was two girls that cross skated up from Team Millennium Juvenile. And altogether, we had 17 girls on the team, or 17 people on the team, because Steven was on the team, so 16 girls, one boy, but 17 people on the team, and like obviously 16 skated. So it was kind of like a just pulling bodies together and hoping it worked. And we all season we were like, oh, like, yeah, nothing's gonna come of this, whatever. And then we were like shocked that we like even like made it to nationals, and the team won nationals. And we had like no expectations for this at all. So first season in intermediate, and we won nationals. And it was like all these teams like have been in intermediate for forever, have like all these old like really really talented skaters and stuff like that. And like I think that team coming from literally nothing, like didn't exist the year before. It was mainly a bunch of mini mates that like moved up, but they didn't have enough spots on ice mates, but they wanted to give them a place to skate. So Like that team coming out of nowhere and winning nationals, I think was absolutely insane.
That's wild.
So yeah, that was like the true like Cinderella story. So that one I think was one of my favorite nationals memories as well.
I love that.
I don't know. I don't know if I can think of a third off the top of my head. Maybe winning nationals my third year on Ice Mates because my second year on Ice Mates, um, me and my best friend clipped heels in the no point, and then we lost to Crystalettes by like a point, maybe less than a point. And so like you never like there's no proof that it was our fault, but you know what I mean? You always have that little like, but if we didn't click blades, would we have won?
Yeah.
So I think coming back that next year and like the team had worked really, really hard too, and coming back that next year and actually being able to seal the deal, even though we didn't have a good skate at all. Like I think we had 3 falls.
Oh,
Um, yeah, but I don't think anyone else skated clean either. And like those don't really feel the best, but we also skated first too. So we just kind of went out and we were like joking around about it. And we're like,
yeah.
whatever, like it is what it is. And then it ended up working out, but I think it was like a really special team that year too. So it all kind of came together well.
That's the best. All right. Do you want to get into like the teams that are going to go or the teams that are qualified for nationals and like kind of what they look like?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. So
All right, should
let's
we start with
start.
intermediate?
Yeah, let's start with intermediate. Let me pull up the list. Also, I just find it so weird that junior is on a Wednesday. Like
Right?
junior shorts
Wednesday,
on a
Thursday.
Wednesday. Wednesday, Thursday
Like
for junior.
it's so sad because like no one's gonna watch junior, and junior's like one of the best divisions. I'm like, I wouldn't want to compete on Wednesday. Also, very strange for like leaving school on like a Monday to go to nationals. Like it makes sense because like they don't pick the world team until later, and then it gives them more time before junior worlds. But like I would still rather skate Friday, Saturday for everybody than skate for nobody.
Yeah. I tried to get there. I tried to get my flight so I could go watch junior. I might be able to catch like the later half of the junior event, but I don't think so. Okay.
Yeah, like if I'm lucky, I can fly out Thursday night. So like there's no shot for me.
Yeah. Okay. Intermediate teams this year, and this is like the order of like how they're gonna end up competing too. So let's talk about the first group, which is Teams Elite, Ice the Nets in Affinity. Never heard of them
Oh,
before.
they're the Arizona team.
Oh, cool. Capital Ice Chips and then Tremors of San Francisco. So
Okay, it's first.
Teams Elite skates first. So they're gonna set the tone with intermediate and they're gonna set, I'm not gonna lie, Teams Elite's teams always come out setting like just these massive scores. And like I watched a little bit of mids and like their intermediate team is really good too. Like all their teams are so good.
Yeah, they always are. And I think they're the highest scoring intermediate team on the Midwest, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, Capital Ice Chips are always solid, are always on fire
Capital Ice
too. But
Chips.
anyways, going back to Teams Elite, they're skating first. And like everyone's always like, oh, if you skate first, like it's such bad karma. Like they're gonna forget about you. You're not gonna get the scores, whatever. I won national skating first on novice. So I always reject that theory now. You can do it. Like it does suck to have to go and skate first, but if you come out solid and strong, like you set the bar that high, and they're like, oh, no one was as good as them.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Um,
That with that first group, so like Teams Elite and Capital Ice Chips, those two teams are always like notoriously really, really good in the intermediate division. So I think like between the two of them, ending up in first and second after that first warm-up group will actually be like set the tone for the rest of the intermediate flight to be really, really good too.
yeah, I think Capital Ice Chips definitely have a really solid chance at winning nationals. They always look like a junior team, and
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's just maybe they don't have the funding to go junior, or they don't have the skaters, or they just don't want to go junior, but they absolutely could like
Oh yeah.
crush as a junior team. Because I think most of them are all in like high school anyways. They're definitely on the upper end of that intermediate age range for the most part, I believe. But they're always so good. Like and they have really cool programs too. Like, do you remember the one then they skated to I think it was like a soldiers themed program or something, and they had like the yellow ribbon and like they skated like I want to say it was like a I don't remember, but it was like, oh, I'm coming home, that song, like
No, I don't remember
I don't
that
remember who sings it. No, oh, it was so good. It was like I think it was like something about like a soldier who goes away and like they're like a parent or something like soldier and then they're coming back home or something. It was like so cute.
So cool.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I haven't like tapped into intermediate much since like in a hot minute. Like,
Yeah. I mean, that was a while ago.
okay. Yeah, I don't remember a whole lot. Okay. Next group of teams. So the second one group is Cal Gold, Matrix, Sky, and Blades. People have
Okay.
been saying that Blades are not that good in intermediate this year. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't believe that. Not because I skated there, but I actually genuinely think that their intermediate team is quite strong this year. Last year, I think last year I think was tough because a lot of the kids were a little bit younger for their teams. And now that they've grown into them, like now they're solid. Like now they're like really solid teams, especially like Juve intermediate novice level. Like I think they were just a little bit young last year. But then again, that's my personal opinion.
Um, yeah, I haven't seen any of them this year. I feel like Cal Gold usually comes out with a pretty solid intermediate team. Um, Skyliners are always solid too. I haven't seen them. I don't know if it's like a stronger intermediate team for them as much or if it's not as strong as other
Well, I
seasons. I really have
chatted
no
with,
idea.
yeah, I got to chat with one of the coaches when I was at Easterns because we skated, I think we skated right after them, or no, we skated right before them. So our Eastern Elite skated right before them, and they got off the ice, and I was like, "How'd you guys do? Like, please tell me you guys did good." And she was like, "It wasn't our best skate, but like it was really good." And I think they ended up, what did they end up like second or third at
I don't
Eastern?
remember.
Yeah, but like they skated well enough to medal at Easterns. So like I'm assuming that they're gonna go out and crush it. Their program is
Mhm.
like, what is it? It's like something about time. Like their dresses are really cool. They have like a clock on them on the side. I thought they were really cool. They're black and I don't know, I really like them.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean,
Um,
intermediate is also just such a toss up all the time too. It's like literally, if you have a bad skate, you're not going to nationals. Like, because there's
oh
what
yeah.
23 intermediate teams or something is that you get to send four.
Yeah.
So everybody has to be on their game all the time. And like, if you have one slip up, like, sorry. So it'll be interesting to see how all these teams fall out. Because like, if it's their day, anyone can win, and if it's not their day, anyone can come in like 10th.
That's like the wild thing with intermediate, like you said, like all the intermediate teams, if it's your day, it is your day. But if you have like, if you're not vibing as a team or like you have one person or whatever, like, and if it's just not something like not your day, oh, you could literally be like one of the top intermediate teams in the country, but end up like eighth because
Yeah.
like an edge or something, like it can be like the smallest thing because intermediate's so tight and so tough.
Yeah. I think intermediate is probably the most competitive division in the country, like year after year.
Oh, 100%. All right, last warm-up group, Team Image Black, Team Excel, Starmates, and Wisconsin Inspire.
Okay. You said Team Excel?
Team Excel.
Okay. Love that they made it intermediate. Because again, intermediate has so many teams, so love that they made it. Also like the Colonials always used to have like the most fire intermediate team. And I know that I don't think the Colonials still have intermediate anymore, but then like when Marita went from Colonials Team Excel and like they always have solid intermediate, so good for them, especially with Starmates being in Boston too. As Starmates alum, clearly gonna be shooting for them, but I heard that they were really, really, really good at nationals. I believe, or sorry, at Easterns this year. Um, Heard they absolutely killed it, and I think they won Easterns as well. So, hoping they can carry that momentum with them. Um,
Between
Team Image
between
also.
I was gonna say between like Starmates and like Starmates, Teams Elite, and like Capital Ice Chips, I think those three teams 1000% are going to be on the podium. And like, I don't know who would end up at fourth because it's such a toss up between like Sky. I know Wisconsin Inspire is really good this year. I know that
Mhm.
like Team Image is really good this year. Blades obviously ended up fourth in their division. So like the Midwest, like I think the podium could quite literally end up. I'm almost going to guarantee Teams Elite, either like Star Maze, like those two and Capital Ice Chips, all three of those teams are on the podium, but I have no idea what order and I have no idea who would end up like with them. but I think those three are
Yeah.
the top, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think I've seen some years where star mates have been like amazing. Some years where star mates have been like, I think they got like eighth one year or something. Cause like intermediate again, like such toss up. If you don't skate like perfectly, then like you can end up anywhere. But I think like almost every year that I can remember, Teams Elite and Capitalized Ships have been on the podium. Team Image also has won intermediate multiple times at nationals. But they have two teams this year. I think they had platinum and black were the two, something like that. Silver and black. I think platinum though. But they had two intermediate teams, so sad that both of them didn't make it. That'd be wild though. Could you imagine?
That was
Um,
like that was like the year that Sky had two novice teams and they both qualified and both medaled. And I was like, oh my goodness.
yeah, that's crazy. They both medaled too. But like, I feel like a novice qualifying is not as hard as intermediate because like taking two of the four spots out of like 20 teams, it'd be insane. Um, and then who else is in this group? Oh, Wisconsin Inspires and say, I think they got like what third at mids. Like getting third at mids and intermediate is like huge. So
Hard.
I'm not really quite sure where they came out of, but they came out of nowhere. I mean, I know they've been a team for a while, but I don't remember them being like medal contenders at nationals. And I think
Yeah,
now if they get third at mids and like pretty close scores, like they definitely could be in medal contention. So good
for
for
sure.
them.
For sure. I think last year, or the year before, they were a junior team. So I think they have like some pretty talented kids that they were like, we might not have enough for a junior team, or we might not have like the test levels for a junior team, but like they have talented enough kids that they could probably go back to junior at some point.
Yeah.
Right. Novice. Novice. Okay. Poor Teams Elite
Novice
has
is
to
my
skate.
favorite division.
Poor Teams Elite has to skate first again in novice. That kind of sucks.
I feel like teams lead skated first like a few like last year when I was watching too, maybe not, but or I feel like they had first a couple times, which sometimes you're like, is this planned because nobody wants to skate first? Then you feel like it's like being like the world is out to get you, or you're like, this is planned, like this is a scam. Kind of like, you know how sometimes it's like this worked out almost too well that like it's almost as if somebody coordinated this by hand. They didn't just draw this out of a hat.
Yeah, sometimes it feels that way where you're like, you placed this team to skate like this, but like we know for a fact, like no, it really is random order. Like it is what it is.
The synchro gods just make the dice roll in a certain way.
Yeah. Okay, first, so there's three groups for novice. Teams Elite, Dazzlers, Northernettes, and Ice Mates in the first group. That's a tough group.
Yeah, stacked first group. Again, and I think that's going to be the same thing as intermediate we were talking about. That's going to set the bar really, really high. I mean, novice again has a lot of super talented teams too, but my last year in Ice Mates was California Nationals. We skated fourth and like last in the first group, and we also won nationals that year. So again, like there's nothing saying that if you skate early on, you can't pull it off. And I think Crystal X medaled and they were like first or something too. So
Yeah.
definitely going to be really exciting to watch that first group. Ice Mates always in medal contention. Think they win Easterns, but the week before at Colonials they were like fifth or something. Am I remembering this correct?
I'm pretty sure they won Easterns because I remember skating
Yeah,
after them and watching them and being like, how is that a novice team? Like that literally looks like mini Lexettes. Like they were so good at Easterns. I was
yeah, but
like,
I'm pretty sure the week before they got like fifth or something. I think at like Colonials. Maybe it was not the week before, but you know what I mean, like really close to that.
yeah,
So again, just like so much variation of field, similar to intermediate. Like it can go anyway. All of the teams are really really solid. So teams lead also has been insane. I think they have the highest score nationwide right now for novice. I believe they broke 100 points.
yeah, it's like 103 points. Like that's insane to me.
My second year in novice was the first year of the new judging system of IJS for novice in 2006, and a line was worth zero point 0.7 points.
Oh, I think now it's
I
worth,
think Ice Mates won nationals that year with like a 30.
wow. That's like a
So
that's like
it's so
a
funny to look at scores now because I'm like, dude, like we were never even close. Like for us winning nationals, like if you got a 70, you could get on the podium at nationals. And like now I'm like on 100 in novice, like what? But also they're doing like twizzle blocks and
yeah.
like,
Like the elements are also just like worth more. Like I'm pretty sure
mhm.
like off the top of my head, like a Twizzle 4 is worth 4.5 points. And like in novice, you can go for a Twizzle 4.
Mhm.
Novice, I think like there's obviously like caps for different elements, but like intermediate, you're capped at like a level 3 for all of your elements. So there's only really a
Mhm.
certain number of points you can get to like cap off intermediate. But like novice, like you can go for pretty much level 4 on anything. So like if you're going for it, you're going for it. And you're basically aiming for like a junior free skate score in novice. Like that's really what you're aiming for. Like, and that's what
Yeah.
Team is doing. Like a 103 is like equivalent to a junior free skate, like a lower tier junior free skate, which is insane to me.
Yeah, because they're also one element short too in novice, I believe, because they're 30 seconds shorter.
Yeah.
But yeah, and who else is in that first group? So we have Teams Elite, Ice Mates.
Dazzlers and Northern Nets, two other Midwest teams that are
Dude, okay,
crushing it.
Northern Nets this year have been crushing it. Again, if Dazzlers qualified in the Midwest too, they're always really pretty solid.
They like Dazzlers are low key really good this year. Their novice program, they're also skating to Michael Jackson. People on Twitter have been like comparing like Eastern Elite to like our novice team to like Dazzlers Intermediate, and people were being like, "Oh my gosh, Dazzler showed the Eastern Elite kids how to do it." It's like, no, like they're just different versions of Michael Jackson. Don't be mean and say that like one version is better than the other. Just two different versions. But like, I haven't watched them skate, but I've heard nothing but like rave reviews about their program. Like it hits every single time. So like I'm genuinely really excited to watch them compete because I want to watch their program in person.
Me too. Very excited to watch that. And then, like, yeah, like we've been saying, Northern Nets have been next level all season long. All of their
Yeah.
teams, their novice team, I think, was what, second at mids. They also were like right around 100 points or something, if I'm not mistaken. But like
Yeah.
astronomical scores. They're doing really well. I think like after all these years of building now, I don't know if they have like a bunch of kids that have been in the levels for a while or if they finally got like a good group, but they've been like on
Yeah.
top of it. So
Props to the Chris.
can't wait. The first group of novice could be the podium.
They could. But then you move down and you have Sky, DC Edge, Eastern Elite, and Boston Fusion, which Boston Fusion is a new team this year. So that's like a mix of Team Excel and Colonials, if I'm not mistaken. So like they kind of merged together to make Boston Fusion, and they're pretty good. Like being a brand new team, very similar to us, like Eastern Elite being a brand new team, you never really know what to expect. And like they came out of the gate strong. Like they have a really good set of kids there. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they can grow because I think it'll be kind of like how like Skyliners and then Team Image are right next to each other. So they're kind of, I don't want to say they're pulling from the same pool of skaters, but they've got a lot. There's a very large pool of skaters in that same area. And like Synchronized always used to be in that like northern New Jersey tri-state area section as well. So like you've got Hayden, used to be Teams Elite and Colonials all in there. It used to be Hayden and Colonials, and then Teams Elite branched off. And I think Team Boston was
Yeah,
before Teams Elite or Team, sorry, not Teams Elite, Team Excel. It was Team Boston.
yeah,
Um, there's always been like a really large amount of skaters out in the Boston area too, and they've got a big pool to draw from. So they always like all the skaters out there are awesome. So it's nice to see that they can all blend together with the new coaching style and it's working well for them. So hopefully they can skate really well.
yeah. DC Edge is always really solid too. So I'm excited to watch them and compete against them again. We were fortunate enough to have a really, really good skate at Easterns. Like our kids crushed it. They came out and they did what they needed to do. So it'll be really fun to compete against DC Edge again because I know that like we're roughly at the same level as them. So it'll be really
Mhm.
fun to see like who comes out on top again and like if both of us have like really lights out skates again, it'd be really fun.
Yeah. And then Skyliners Novice, obviously, another one of those powerhouse teams. Um,
Their theme this year, their theme this year is I'm pretty sure like it's not I don't think it's the Little Mermaid, but I think it's like the new Little Mermaid. And their dresses, I looked at them up close, have like this like fish scale like in rhinestones. And I literally was like, I'm obsessed. Like I want to be on Novice. Like I want to be on Sky Novice. Like I love that dress. It's so pretty.
Pam always makes the prettiest dresses. I would love to skate for Pam again. I just love her. She's the best.
I love the dress.
Yeah, I wish I could skate on Sky Novice. It would be a dream come true. Uh,
Okay.
I'm obsessed. It's fine. But tell us more about
Final.
Eastern Elite. Give us a little spiel just
Oh,
because you can. We kind of skipped them, I think, because you were just talking about them because they're your team, but
yeah.
go off.
So being a new organization's been really, really fun. We kind of pulled kids from like the North Carolina, South Carolina area to like to basically make like Carolina Ice Synchro have like its national level teams. So that's kind of what like the goal was. But it's been really fun to like coach younger kids, having coached like at the collegiate level and being a little bit more free in like creativity at the college level was really fun. But I like the development side of coaching these younger kids. Like I get the opportunity to like teach them a little bit more about like knee bend, ankle, and like teach them to be these really like dynamic skaters in like their choreography that like my coaches and I like put together. And like turns and really help them out with technique things that like will make them a better skater to hopefully not burn them out to then make them want to skate when they go to college and like go skate for like a college of their own, like whether that be like at Michigan State or Michigan or wherever they want to go skate afterwards, or skate on like those big senior teams like Sky and Hayden. Like ultimately, like that's the big goal is to get kids to skate after high school. So hopefully we can get a couple kids to like go off and skate after high school, but no, it's been honestly so much fun. It's been such a joy to like teach these kids and like put my knowledge into their bodies because it's so fun to watch and like now that I have lessons with them, it's been really fun to see them grow as skaters throughout the entire year. It's been really fun.
Love
I love them a lot.
Yeah, I love that. And it's really nice to see them as a brand new team get to go to nationals their first season because that's so motivating and so inspiring. Like once you see that success, then it makes a lot of kids like want to stick with the sport and work harder, I think.
Yeah. And like I know next year we have a good group of kids staying. I think our novice team this year is quite young. I think we have a lot of like sophomores. So we'll have them for at least like 2 years or so. I know we're only graduating maybe like three kids off our roster. So that'll be nice to have a good chunk of the team stay together and like bring in new kids. Because when our tryouts come up, it'll be fun to see like who comes for tryouts. Because like obviously being a new organization, you're not expecting like it's not like Skyliners where you have all these kids coming from this like big concentrated New York area, like New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, like all these kids coming to try out. Like there's just not a lot of kids to pull from in the North Carolina area, North Carolina, South Carolina. So like it'll be fun to see like who comes to tryouts and like what we can kind of build as teams. Like I'm just excited.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the last group of novice.
Starlights, Blades, Team Image, Pacific Edge, and Crystalettes. Crystalettes novice always slaps.
Dude,
Always.
Chrysalis Novice was the bane of my existence for my history in novice. Like they were always neck and neck, and they were always so good, and they always had the prettiest Dell dresses. And man, Crystalettes, I don't know how they do it every year, but they do. From literally from my first year in novice when they made their boys wear tan pants though, which was rude. The boys should never have to wear tan pants. I'm sorry. But
We hear
but
a lot of
they've
that.
always been so good. I think they medal like almost every year. Like, and I love their novice programs. They're always so good.
Yeah.
Starlights also always continually do really, really well. I think actually my first year on Ice Mates, we went to Sweden with Starlights and Crystalettes novice. I think both of them went. I think it was them. I think it was Starlights, Crystalettes, and Chicago Jazz and us who went when novice still went international.
Yeah.
Also, crazy you said there was girls graduating, that there's three girls graduating from your novice team and like how the rules have changed over the years. Because then I think the cutoff you had to be 14 or younger when I was, and then they changed it so that you could be 15, but then we couldn't go international anymore. And then they changed it so you could have four girls that are 16 or 17. I don't know if that's still what it is now,
I honestly think
but
the age of novice, I think it's like very similar to like junior where it's like high school level. Like you can skate till you're like 18, I think.
Yeah, and well, junior now is older too. I think they bumped it up a year with COVID too, right? So now you can technically be like 20, kind of like I think you can skate your last year as 19.
Yeah.
Um, but I think the upping of the ages definitely is bringing up the skill level of novice and junior in general. So, um, like you lack some things, but it definitely is nice to see like really really good quality skating and give skaters a little bit more time to develop in each level.
Yeah. I would agree. I would agree.
Also we forget about or not forget about, but not touch in this group.
Oh, let me go back down. Sorry.
You said Crystalettes, Starlights. I think you said Pacific Edge,
Team image.
um, Team Image. Oh, again, always. I haven't seen their novice teams too much, but the last few years, and they've been able to roster teams in every division and continually crush it. Haven't had a chance to see Pacific Edge. I didn't get to watch Pacific Coast, so I don't know about that. I don't know if you did.
I didn't get a chance to, but it'll be fun to kind of watch that entire novice division layout because like we said, like all of those teams are so good and all of those scores are so high. So I'm very intrigued and very excited to see like how novice lays out and like who ends up where. So
Absolutely. I love novice, my favorite division. Like, let's go. I'm so happy it's on Saturday. That finally they put it back on Saturday because it always used to be right before senior. And then they moved it to like Thursday and was like, so good thing it's on Saturday again. I'm a big fan. Novice is the best division. It should always be on Saturday.
all right, let's move to junior. So junior short, obviously Wednesday. First warm-up group for junior short, Lexettes, Image, Hawkettes, DC Edge.
Okay. So
I'm
junior teams went international this year and they're all good. Definitely think junior again is one of those divisions this year that can go anyway because we've seen Lexettes come out with astronomical scores, and we've also seen Lexettes. I think at Boston they were last in the longs, which is like so atypical for them. Um, Personally, as somebody who skated on Lexettes, we tended to have either really really good skates or really really bad skates with like 3 or 5 falls. We had a pile up at nationals after our pivoting block, we like either the best of luck or the worst of luck, and there was no in between. And I think historically watching Lexettes, I don't want to say that's been a theme because I don't want to put that on them, but it's happened many years. Like there is the year that they skated Titanic at JWQ, and I think they had 5 or 6 falls in their long.
Oh my God, I
Again, was
felt so
like
bad.
tragic, but I've been there because we've had 3 falls at JWQ one year. We had a pile up at nationals again. We had like 5 falls at Cape Cod one year. Like
Yeah.
so I don't know what it is, but it's just like Lexette's luck. So hopefully they are. And there was the year that they skated like the Bollywood theme, I think, too, in both Skyliners and Lexettes. I think it's 2016. They both had like 5 falls in their long, and Jazz won. Was
Hmm.
that? Yeah. So again, like maybe it's junior, maybe it's just Lexettes, and I just noticed it more because I was on the team. But hopefully they are having the good luck this weekend because their skating skills are phenomenal. So good. And they really, really have a chance. Like every year they're really in medal contention. They went to worlds last year. So obviously like they're way up there. Um Personally, I think the world team this year is going to be Skyliners and Teams Elite because they've just, I think, at every competition been superior, like astronomical scores again. The two of them, I think, have the two highest scores in the world for junior right now. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't see how the US could justify sending anyone but the two of them. But, yeah, definitely not counting Lex that's out of medal contention. Who else is in this division, this group again?
Team Image, Hawkettes, and DC Edge. I'm personally really excited to watch Hawkettes and Team Image. I think Hawkettes have come out this year and just first of all, they've been given two incredibly designed programs. Lindsay and Sarah have worked so well as a pair together. Like the two programs that they've been given, their short and their long, are both incredibly well written for those kids. Like you always see programs sometimes where it's like, that's a really good program, but it might be too much for the kids. Like they're not strong enough to skate it. This year, both their short and their long are so smoothly written, but they are written to the style of the kids as well. Like those kids skate so soft and beautiful, and their programs are so soft and gorgeous. Like I'm obsessed with Hawkettes this year. I think that they have just been like incredible. Like from watching them last year and seeing like the struggles that they had, like not that I didn't like their programs. I loved their programs. I thought the K-pop one was so creative, so inventive, so unique. But like this year, they look like a brand new team. They look like they came out of
Mhm.
nowhere and was like, "We are Hawkettes. We are amazing." And I'm like, "You are amazing. I love it. Like it's incredible."
Yeah, I really, really, really love their Drops of Jupiter program. Like, I can't believe no one skated that. I think they're the first ones, and I'm like, this is genius. Like, why has nobody skated it before? And especially because so many teams this year are doing the one long slow song for their long program this year, and like sometimes it works for me, sometimes it doesn't, and there's like a completely different take on it, and I'm really digging it. um and yeah, I think they're still a pretty young team this year too, so it'll be really nice to see them develop because Hawkeyes have been on the world team multiple times in junior, so hopefully they can build back up and get to that position again in the future. That'd be really exciting to see.
Yeah. And then
Give us your thoughts on team image.
what are my thoughts on team image? I I want them to stop having poor international skates. I think that their programs this year are so incredibly interesting and so unique that like I wanted them to crush every single event that they went to. Like 2 years ago, when they came out and they won nationals, they crushed every single event that they went to. Last year, they crushed every single event, and then they had a couple falls internationally, which was like really a big bummer. And this year, I feel like they just have these two incredible programs that they just haven't been able to deliver yet. So I'm excited for nationals because I feel like they're going to deliver these two incredible programs and give like your top teams in junior a run for their money, especially like they're going to give teams elite, they're going to give Skyliners a run for their money if they come out, they hit their programs and they skate clean. Like they're so interesting to watch. I think their coaches did such an incredible job with their program design and their themes. And I know people are like, I don't understand everything that's going on. Well, you don't always need to understand whatever's going on. You just need to be entertained the entire time. And I'm fully entertained by their programs every single time. I think they're so good.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that they are one of the strongest teams by far. I love their program. Like it's giving me like a Rockettes vibe, like with kind of like the trap music a little bit and like the
Yeah.
dresses and everything. Like it's very Finland. I really, really enjoy it. Like I was gonna say, I don't necessarily know what the theme is, but I really like the music and I'm so into it watching them. I'm like, I want to skate on this team. This would be so much fun. So like, yeah, I wish I could skate those programs because they look like a blast. And yeah, I think they're super talented. Like I would say they're definitely on the same caliber, same level as Teams Elite and Skyliners. They just haven't had the skates yet, but they could come out with two at nationals and blow everyone out of the water, I think, especially if the other two teams don't deliver. It was really unfortunate to see their skates at the internationals, like especially this past weekend in Finland. Like again, I don't think that either of their skates were bad either, but it was like I feel like their falls were on silly things. Like they had a fall in the triangle and they had a fall on a single flip jump. Like
Yeah.
those are just like unfortunately like shit or if things happen and it's out of your control sometimes. Like you catch an edge and you just
Yeah.
like I've just like your leg gives out, you collapse. Like it is what it is. Um
Official
like
practice.
I do you remember
Yeah,
at
I almost ran you
when I got
over.
yelled at Worlds after official because I fell in both official practices because I just like flopped on my face?
Yeah, I almost ran you over out of the twizzles.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Yeah, like and I was
around.
like, I don't know. 1 second you're up and the next one you're just laying on your tummy and you're like, well,
Well,
so
then you did hip surgery,
and
so
sometimes you get body checked to the ground and it just happens and you don't know. But regardless of what caused those falls, unfortunate. And I really want them to be able to come out with a clean skate because like no one's mad at you when those happen, but it always sucks if you're that person because you're like, damn it, like I know I have more in me. Or just as a team as a whole, you're like, we did so well at practice. We always kill it at practice. And then we came here and it was just like, we had more in the tank. So
yeah.
um The weird thing to me though was watching them this past week again, like I didn't think that they skated poorly overall. It was just like a couple unfortunate falls, but like even the falls weren't super distracting. But I thought the same thing about Musketeers. I thought they had two like fairly good skates as well. I didn't find them bad, and they didn't score very highly either. I think it was just like at the Marie Lundmark Trophy, there was a lot higher caliber of competition with there being five Finland teams and then a couple US, and that was a couple Canadians, and I think there was one team from Sweden. And like that was pretty much all there was. So all of them, I'd say, were like in the top half of worlds. So I
Yeah.
think that maybe their placement was lower, but overall they just had a very high caliber of competition as well. So
Well, because Canada announced their junior world team and their senior world team, and Les Supreme were both like junior and senior were both at that competition in Finland, and so like Team Image is competing against what would be the world team for Canada, like, and the Canadians are already really strong. Les Supreme last year at Junior Worlds had a chance to win Junior Worlds. Like I think they were in first after the short program and then had just a really unfortunate set of falls happen in their free skate. But like they're an incredible team. Like their juniors are really good, the seniors are really good. So like I would agree. I think the caliber of skating that was at that competition was just really, really high. And like if you made a single mistake, like it showed. And like their placement, okay, so 10th out of 11th, okay, but like how many of those teams are going to go to Worlds? At least five or six of them.
mhm.
At
Yeah,
least,
you had the Finland world team, the Canadian world team. Like
yeah. So like
it's a lot.
their placement really doesn't mean like for at least for me, like their placement didn't really mean anything, but it was like just those teeny tiny unfortunate things is kind of what brought down their score. Like you said, like it wasn't a bad skate, it was just like unfortunate stuff that happened.
Yeah. Touching on what you said, Canadian world team too. I believe for senior it is Les Supreme and Nova, right?
Mhm.
For junior, is it Les Supreme and Nexus?
Yes, Nexus Junior.
Okay. I love Nexus's junior long. It is so good. Oh my God. They're getting to like some like I think I'm guessing gonna guess it's like the 2WEI. I don't know how you say their band name, but like we skated to them or like the I think Miami skated to their toxic program or something, but they're
Yep.
skating to hit the road jack. And I think I want to say it's them. And I saw them at French Cup. I didn't know who was skating because I had just like turned on the feed and I just saw this team. I was like, oh my God, they're so good. And I was obsessed with the program and it was Nexus Junior. And I was like, this is my team. I'm here for them. Like obsessed with the program. It is so good. The choreography, the music, the dresses are stunning. Like you have to go back and watch it. It's on the French Cup Facebook page. They have it. They have the feed, like the live stream copy on there. If you haven't watched it, you have to watch it. It's incredible. My possibly my favorite program this season. So good.
Okay, I'll definitely go back and watch it because I didn't get a chance to really watch a lot of the internationals this year. So I
Mhm.
want to go back and I want to watch.
Yeah. Um,
All right.
we got very off topic. Last few teams in this segment.
Your top teams, you've got Sky, you got Teams Elite, Blades, Starlights, and you've got Northernettes. I am not gonna lie, I love Sky Junior, but I think Teams Elite might win their first national championship this year. I really think they
Yeah,
might.
I think it's gonna be a toss up. I think Skyliners definitely has the edge from getting it so many years in a row, and they historically perform very, very, very well at nationals. Um, and like just overall in general, like it's rare to see them have a lot of mistakes.
Yeah,
So their Firebird program is phenomenal as well, like really, really strong short. So it seems elite. Yeah, I don't know. I think those girls definitely have a fire under them though after last year. So it's going to be really interesting to see. And I think between the two teams coming in so close to each other and teams elite edging them out at the international, um, wherever they were last, Poland. Was it Poland? Yeah, wherever they went together. I think it was Poland. But I think with teams elite edging them out, it's going to be really interesting to see Skyliners come out and see like if they've let it defeat them, or what I'm expecting is that they got like a fire lit underneath them and they're ready to come out and like take back what is theirs. So I can't wait to watch the throwdown in junior.
No, I think junior is going to be really interesting to watch. I really do think that Teams Elite is coming for that title because I would agree. Like
Oh
I think
yeah.
they're out for blood when it comes to junior. Like they're ready to be back on that world team. They are ready to fight for what they want. And like those
Yeah.
kids are known for working so incredibly hard for getting what they want. And like I love that in them. I love that fire in them. But I hope Sky also like just keeps the fire burning because those two teams are just going to be so exciting to watch back to back.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think that Teams Elite, I think, has my favorite like package of programs for the season. I'm gonna go and say it. Like I think like between their short and their long, they look incredible. The programs are so like they just draw you in. You want to keep watching. Like I love them. Um, Definitely, yeah. I think they have the best package of the season, in my opinion. I think Skyliners Junior, their short is incredible. Personally, I like their long last year better than this year's. Again, I think it's because as a whole, I just don't enjoy the whole one long slow song for an entire program that much.
Yeah.
Not really my vibe. So maybe that's just it. Or I like how Teams Elite kind of has like those more powerful, like always a little bit of like a dark undertone, like
Yeah.
that's more my style. So I enjoy watching those programs more than just like the super pretty ones. And like even their short is like the pretty vibe, but they have like a little bit of that kind of intensity that they normally bring too. So and like my skating style, I'd say, was a lot more suited for that than like the ballet super pretty of like Skyliners Junior Long. So um but also they're just very different vibes. So it's gonna be really interesting to see who can come out on top. Who else is in the juniors that we haven't discussed?
Um, Blades, Starlights, and Northernettes. I think between the three of them, I think that it'll be really interesting to see who comes out on top. I think your podium is probably going to end up being Sky, Image, or sorry, Sky, Elite, Image, maybe Hawkettes. Like I think that's going to be more of the vibe, but I also think Northernettes might be able to get their first national medal in junior.
I
Like,
think Northern Nets could end up on the podium. I think Lex, honestly, like anyone could end up on the podium. I would put my money on it being if Lexets can stand on their feet, I think Lexets will be on the podium.
yeah, I would
If,
agree.
however, I think that Northern Nets have a really good shot of getting up there too, especially because they performed well in Finland.
Yeah. They
They
skated
scored
well.
well, they skated well. I think like one of the strengths that we normally see in Skyliners is that they're really technically strong, whereas I think that they were not as technically strong in Poland. Like they
Yeah.
missed a couple calls, which is what I think gave Teams Elite the edge over them. And so
Yeah.
if they can get that up, that will help them. But I think that um a couple I noticed that I think that Northern Nets went for a pivot block 3, whereas I don't think they tried for a 4. I think they tried for a 3 and they got it called. Whereas like Team Image tried for a 4, I believe, and got a pivot block 2 called in their short. So it's those little things that's like I think the neatness and tidiness that Northern Nets can bring, and a couple elements where they may be trying for a level 3 instead of a level 4, but then they can bring that sharpness, the clarity, and get the call. Where some teams might be trying for the higher level and miss the call because it's really common. That can set them ahead and get them higher than a lot of the other teams if they don't have perfect skates.
Yeah. I
I
would agree with
also
that.
their Game of Thrones program is so sick. The dresses, the hair, the music, I'm obsessed.
Yeah. I think both of them, I think they also very much have a very strong package of programs. I think their long very much suits their classic skating style and it fits them really, really well. But I do think that their short does a really good job of make not making them branch out, but they branch out a little bit in style where like it's a little bit more hard hitting than what we usually see from Northern Nets too. Like we usually
Mhm.
see like their novice program, Gorgina. Oh my God, like it's so beautiful. And like they carry that along when they're long, but we don't normally see them with these like hard hitting programs that are a little bit more like not dark, but it's because it's not dark, but like it's a little bit deeper, it's a little bit more hard hitting. Because even if they do something
Mhm.
that has more of a tempo to it, it's like their juvie skate to like Rihanna. Like that's hard hitting, but it's like poppy, fun, hard hitting, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Like I wish I could skate their junior short because like I again like I love those intense programs. Again, I think the dresses are like stunning too, but the music hits so hard. I love everything about it. I think it'd be so fun to skate. Like that's like this type of program that I always wanted to skate, but I've also always wanted to skate to Gladiator and The Incredible Hulk. I think somebody needs to do it because it's the greatest soundtrack. I wouldn't want to wear a Hulk dress, but but great music. But anyways, oh, I was gonna say, yeah, their long program also super, super pretty. It reminds me a lot of their last year's long program too, which like to the Fergie song, which I know you skated to Fergie before.
I sure did skate to Fergie once. I did
What was
skate.
that?
That
Fondy
was
Jr.
that was my first year of junior with Starlights. I That was not their first year of junior ever, but it was our first year with Heather Page. So Heather Page's first year at Starlights.
Mhm.
And we skated a Fergie, and I was not good at it. I was not good. I'm just gonna put it out there. I was not good at it. I learned a lot about myself that year, and I learned that I am not a hip hop artist. I am not a hip hop artist. Um, but no, yeah, I skated to Fergie once. All
Love
right.
that. That was the year with the Sail Away long program too, right? With the four different colored dresses.
That was one of my favorite programs I ever skated. That one was so
So good.
interesting to like work through because Heather gave us, so we all had four different t-shirts. And we like the days that we worked on long, we were required to wear our colored t-shirts. And I was teal. I was part of the teal seals. We like all had like fun names for each other. But we had like four girls that were skating in white, four that were in light blue, teal, and dark blue. And like the dresses were so intricate. I just remember her being like, okay, I laid out the rhinestones on the dress. Please match the color of the rhinestone to the color of the like shade that is on your dress. And she like laid it out really well for us, which was really nice. But yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. But it was fun to be able to like see all those different colors and like see her brain work and how she like put them all together too.
Yeah, that was obviously I wasn't there like for the creative process of it, but that was one of the most like memorable programs that I've ever seen. And I think that's the first one that ever did all the different colors of the dresses too. And it worked so well because sometimes now you've seen like people try it recently, but they don't really like pay full attention. Like sometimes there's not a rhyme or reason to like why people are next to each other in a different colored dress. They're just wearing different dresses. But
Yeah.
like that one, like everyone was like either every single line was the right color. Everything was so organized and it was like mind blowing to see.
She used to take her notebook with her and be like, okay, what color are you? Color are you? Okay, are you wearing a shirt? And like we would like skate around and she'd be like, okay. And she'd like go back to her book and
Did,
like reference.
did
Like
you guys never change spots all season? Or if you changed spots, did you then change competition dresses? Or like how did that work?
so we had 20 people on the team. So the way that it worked out, I think the way that it worked out, like we had a couple people sharing in each color, if I remember correctly. I think there were only like a majority of the people stayed in the spot that they were in. So it was kind of tricky in the sense of like if you sucked at your spot, like you had to get it together. Like I know the girls that were skating in white were more of our stronger skaters at the time. Like they were like they all had like they did the flying camels in the beginning, but like they never changed their spots. They like I said, they were stronger skaters. Um, but there were a handful of girls that like shared with each color. So like I think people moved around in their color, if I remember correctly. However, there wasn't a lot of opportunity to change. So, like I said, like if you were like sucking, then you kind of had to figure it out. And like, I don't think
Mhm.
anyone changed dresses or changed like spots around that much. I think that was one year that
Gotcha.
was really interesting because like you were kind of given that spot and that's the spot that you were in. Like maybe you changed with the person next to you to like hide you a little bit more if you were not, pulling your weight.
Mhm.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I was wondering, like, if you would like, you know, how sometimes it's like they'll change like the third element in the program. So they'll be like, okay, switch spots from the beginning, and then from that point on, then everyone will have the same spots the rest or something. But like, obviously, that wouldn't really work if you have the dresses all coordinated.
Yeah. I think we may have like changed around a couple transitions that year, which like then ended up putting people in different spots. But like I think if everything changed, Heather had a way to like make sure it changed and worked like the way that she wanted her choreography to. I think
Mhm.
like she's so incredibly smart as a coach and as a choreographer that like I'm sure if she was going to change somebody, she like had it laid out and like was very like planned out about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of Starlights, their short program, I believe, is Wednesday, like the Netflix show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what's their long?
I don't remember what it's called, but I know they have these like gorgeous like black and like blue purple dresses, and I really really like it. I've only
Right,
seen
right.
them compete like once or twice this year. Because I like I said, I didn't really get to watch a whole lot of stuff, but when I watched them in Boston, I really liked them. I thought they skated incredibly well in Boston. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to
they're
watch
again
them.
one of those teams that has some really good years and they have some like rebuilding years. And I think last year was more of a rebuilding year for them. And then like this year they've been doing stronger. And I think that like maybe they were a younger team again, but then if they stay together for another few years, like they could be back on the world team again in
Oh
the future.
yeah.
It's so exciting to see how all these junior teams are getting so much better. It's so competitive and like it's so fun to watch.
Yeah. All right. Let's tackle Elite 12 because there's only two teams before we finish up with senior. Because I know that's what
Did we
everyone.
finish everyone in did we finish everyone in junior? Do Starlight State last or did we skip somebody?
Northern at skate last. We didn't really touch
Okay.
on blades too much, but
They always have such fun programs. The Backstreet Boys one, love.
dude, that slapped. It slapped so hard.
Somebody sent me music and they were like, I want to choreograph a synchro program to this. And I don't remember who it was. And I don't remember the music. It was like Fond du Lac Blades need to skate to that. I
Yeah.
need to look through my phone and find it. Maybe it was Kata. I don't remember. But anyways. Okay. So Elite 12, you said?
Yeah, so Elite 12, just the two teams. I heard that like this was like really early on in the future or like in the season that they were going to take Elite 12 and add it to like senior, but that didn't happen this year. So I wonder who like said that or like what like the thought process was behind that, that they were basically going to take Elite 12 and add it to the senior division. But again, they split it up. So I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
that
I
was
feel
just
like I heard that too. I don't know. There is more Elite 12 teams than I expected though. I think there is a team from Spain at French Cup, and there's also two Australian teams in the Nexus.
yeah,
So it's growing.
it's definitely growing. I'll be interested to see how many more countries, especially like from the Europe area, like if Finland brings out another Elite 12 team, does Germany make an Elite 12 team? Because Germany's quite good. Or like in Italy, like are they gonna end up like forming Elite 12, which would be nice to see. Um, but I think between the two teams, I mean, obviously they're both gonna end up on the podium. But I hope Hawkettes come out with like this burning fire in them and like give Hayden Select a run for their money. Like Hayden Select is quite good, but also Hawkettes were pretty good too. So I think it'll be kind of a toss up to be honest. I don't think it's a shoe-in for Hayden Select to win the senior Elite 12 division, personally.
Yeah. Pockets have some really good skaters. It'll be interesting because we haven't seen them compete since Porter. So
Yeah.
it'll be really interesting to see what they come up with. But I think it's also what we talked about with Adrian before. The fact that they haven't been competing means that they have that extra time that they can just practice at home and drill and drill and drill. So
Yeah.
that's definitely going to help them out. Hayden did really well at French Cup. Um,
They
so
have
yeah,
been like,
it's gonna be mixed up.
yeah, I'm very excited for Elite 12 because I truly think it could be either one of them. So
Mhm.
all right. The big division, senior. Like, we all know what's going to happen. Like, we know Haydenets are going to come out and they're going to absolutely crush it. They have been on fire for both of their international competitions. So, like, I know they're going to come out and just be like on top, dominate. And I'm so excited for them. I'm so excited for them to go off to Worlds and like see what they're going to do like on the world stage because they've just been so incredible internationally. So excited for them. But like, what do we think's going to happen between Sky and Miami? That's like the big
Dude,
thing.
yeah, I don't even know. For one, I think that Hayden is really, really solid shot for a podium spot at Worlds again this year for the first time in like what I feel like is a long time. But I think that this may be the first year that they actually have a real chance at winning Worlds because
Oh
all
yeah.
season long they've been neck and neck or beating most of those other teams. Like, didn't they win in Poland? So they beat Les
Oh,
Supreme.
they won both
Or
of their international competitions, I'm
yeah,
pretty
they won
sure.
both their internationals. They beat Rockettes. I believe they beat Les Supreme. Like they can actually win worlds this year. This would be the first US team to ever win worlds. And then the best Hayden's ever gotten is third. There was that
Yep.
one year in 2007 when Miami got second, but no one's ever got first. And I don't think a US team has medaled at worlds since like what 2013, 2000, yeah, 2013, something like that. It's
Yeah,
been quite a while.
I think the last time Haydenets medaled was when it was in Budapest when they skated to street beats. When they
Oh,
won
right, right.
the
They did
state.
medal then. I think they won the long that year, but they got third overall, I want to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a while. So would be really, really awesome to see that. Especially like love so many skaters on that team. So it'd be awesome to see that for them. Um and then going to the Hayden and Skyline, or sorry, the Miami and Skyliners. I think that
It's gonna be
obviously I'm
so
not
hard.
we're biased. We're rooting for Sky because we were both on Sky Senior. So how can you not? We still have teammates that were on there. So um, you know, that's gonna happen. You always want your teammates to do well and your old team. So
I will say though, I think this is just my opinion. This is not fact, but I think Sky may have taken back their world team spot. I think they have. I think they've proved themselves internationally, competing so well against teams like Marigold and competing against those higher level teams that I think they may have done it. Like, I think both of their programs are super, super strong. I think their free skate is so European, it's so intricate. And this is not just because I'm a Sky fan, and this is not just because I skated for Sky. I get chills watching their free skate every single time I watch it. I think it's the music. I think it's the way that it's been choreographed, the way that the program has been put together. I get literal chills in my body every single time. Like I'm obsessed with their program. And this is not just because like I'm a Sky fan. Like I just love it.
yeah, I agree. It's really, really, really good. Like I love the music. The dresses work for me. It's just everything altogether. There's so many tricks. There's so much going on in that program. So I agree. Their long is one of my favorites of the season, one of my favorites of like all time. I'm obsessed. Um, I do think that they've laid the groundwork to get that spot back because they've performed exactly how they needed to at both internationals. They, I think, have the higher scores of the two teams that are fighting for this world spot. And they have beat Nova, where I believe Nova beat Miami. So looking at that like international roster, I mean, I think Nova also didn't have a great skate in Finland. They had a girl fall right before the lift, which is so unfortunate. Like I was like screaming at my computer. It was awful to watch. Um, but so keeping that in mind, but still, I think Sky's definitely come through with the performances that they really needed and been technically strong. So they got really solid scores. They got solid second scores as well, better than historically, I believe. So they definitely have set themselves up for the thing. It's just gonna come down to if they can actually pull it off when it matters. Because I think no matter what they did all season, if they don't skate lights out at nationals, they're not gonna get it,
Yeah.
especially because Miami, we all know, is going to skate lights out at nationals because it's different when you have something to lose. And at this point, they are the team with something to lose. Whereas Sky, I don't think any of the skaters on the team have gone to Worlds on as Skyliner Senior before.
Correct.
Yeah, maybe they've gone to Junior Worlds, but none of them gone to Senior Worlds, or at least have gone to Senior Worlds on Skyliners. So they, at this point, they've never had it. So they're hungry and going for it. Whereas Miami's in that point where they have something to lose, and that's always the harder spot to be in, I think, because you kind of have a little bit of nerve, especially when there's somebody strong coming after you. Because again, what's the worst that can happen? They don't go again. They're in the same spot that they were before. But if you're in that point trying to fight off another team, that's a bit more stressful. But I think Miami always comes out at nationals and skates like very aggressively. They give it all, they leave it all on the ice. So it's gonna be and it's gonna be crazy to watch. I can't wait to see it in person. Like I think that it's gonna be like electric in that arena.
Oh
And
yeah.
as exciting as it's going to be to watch Hayden, I think that the whole show is going to be about Sky and Miami on that one night, just to see
Yeah.
who can make it. It's going to be really close.
Because I think, because Miami, yeah, like you said, Miami does compete super well domestically, and like their programs hit really, really well domestically. And I think, like you said, like they're gonna come and they're gonna skate lights out because that's what Miami does. Miami comes to nationals, they pop off, they skate hard, and like they give everybody a run for their money. It doesn't matter like if they were the strongest team that year or like if they were on the weaker end. Like they always come out and like are one of my favorite teams to watch at nationals. And I would agree that like Haydenets are gonna win. We know that. Their goal is worlds, and we like I can't wait to watch them at worlds. But between Sky and Miami, that is gonna be 2 days of the hardest competition that those kids are gonna skate because everyone is fighting for those last 20 spots, and every single one of them wants it so bad. And like you can tell that the Sky kids want it, and you can tell that the Miami kids are like, you're not gonna get it. Fight me for it. And like, I'm so excited.
Dude, I'm getting chills as you're talking about this, but like I was thinking like watching Miami's long last year at Worlds and like watching it last year at Nationals, like it was just like electric the way they were skating.
Oh
Like
my God,
the
yeah.
music built like I was like, I didn't think that like Ode to Joy was that's what it was, right? It was like the Christmas music. Like I didn't think that that would be like getting me ready to go. And I'm in the stands, like vibing, popping off. I was like, let's go. Like this program like got me like I never thought in my life that I'd be like I could go and do some sprints right now to Ode to Joy. Like,
Right?
I'm ready to run through a brick wall. Let's go. Like,
Right?
but that was the vibe that they brought. So I'm like, I love their mermaids program too, or it's not mermaids, I think it's sirens, but like
Yeah,
whatever it is, the dresses are so pretty this year, and the program's really cool. And I think with like the energy in the rink, it's gonna be just next level. And then of course, like we were talking like Sky's program again, like you have to be there in person. You have that's all I can say. I don't know what's going to happen. I really hope that Sky can come out and skate really strong. And then I honestly do not envy the judges and the tech panel because that's or whoever's on the decision team because that is going to be a terrible decision to make. I think whoever comes out on top at nationals is going to be the one who gets the spot regardless of what's happened this season because Sky won the short, but Miami got them in California or Boston or whatever the competition was California. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
So, and that's generally the first competition. And then it was Porter sets the tone for the season, but now nobody goes to Porter anymore. And Miami doesn't go to Boston. So it's California. And Miami got it in California. And that tends to be the tone of the season. But Sky didn't give up. And they didn't go head to head in an international, which really frustrates me. I don't know who decided that, but they should have done better. They should have given us the drama that we've been needing. But I guess they really wanted to build up that drama and get everybody thirsting for nationals and make us all pay our money and to go and watch it in person. So I guess if you're the promo person for that, good job. Take my money. You got me on vacation to Las Vegas, so thank you. But
Yeah.
I have no words. I have
Yeah.
too many words, but none.
I would agree. I do not want to be the world team selection committee when it comes to senior worlds this year. I do not envy anybody that is on that committee. I think they have one of the hardest jobs every single season to pick the two teams that are going to represent us and keep us in that top world standing and like prove to the world that like no matter who we send, we've got three incredible teams that are going to pop off at the world championships. And I think, to be honest with you, I think this is one of the strongest years that the US has ever had for like senior worlds. Like it could be honestly, like say crazy scenario, Hayden falls all over the place and like for some ungodly reason the world says, "You know what, Hayden, you're not going to worlds." Like obviously it'll never happen, but like a like Sky and Miami could also go to Worlds and end up in the same top spots and end up close enough to the podium to make sure that we keep those two world spots for the next year. Like it truly doesn't matter. Like all three of our top teams for senior are just so good that like if we could, we would send them all and they would all do really well.
Yeah, I agree. it's going to be really exciting to see. I think it's going to be devastating for whoever doesn't make it, but at the same time, like you know, all every single girl on that ice is going to leave every ounce of blood, sweat, and tears she has. Their hearts and souls are going to be on that ice, and
Yeah.
it's going to be like whatever happens, happens, and the best one will just come out on top on Saturday.
I want to be in that arena, but I don't want to be in that arena at the same time. Like I'm excited, but like I'm already getting nervous for the event because like
Mhm.
I know what's at stake and like we've been there. Like it's insane.
Dude, think about the feeling in that locker room, like before you skate or even after you skate, especially if you're the one who goes first of the two of those teams. Oh my God. Like if they didn't skate back to back, like they'll be skating back to back for the long. So that's not even a question. Like
Well,
they will.
they're
But like
skating back to
if you're
back
like
for
the team that's
me.
hovering outside, or then it's suddenly silent in the locker room and everyone's just waiting, seeing if you can hear the score through the wall, and you're just all sitting there like pooping your pants, like because you're like, oh my God, this is the biggest moment of my life for a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like I would say for most of the girls there, if they haven't gone to Junior Worlds, this is the biggest moment of their life.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Like, and like if you like, if it's a little bit expected, even if it's your first Worlds, but like if it's expected, it's a little bit different. It's still really exciting, but it's still different. But if it's like when it's all out on the line, dude, like I think I'd rather I don't know. Would you rather find out in the kiss and cry, or would you rather find out in the locker room?
I mean, where would you rather ugly cry?
Well, the question is, I think I would rather find out I didn't go in the locker room.
Yes.
I don't know which one I would rather find out in the kiss and cry because for senior worlds, the first senior worlds we qualified for on Sky, we found out in the locker room. And
Mhm.
then when I qualified for junior worlds, it was the Lexettes' first time making it to junior worlds. We found out in the kiss and cry at JWQ. And that was insane,
Oh my God.
crazy because like I thought we thought that we were not going, we thought we were like lucky if we got fifth because we had a girl throwing up through all of warm up. We didn't even think she got on the ice. Like it was a disaster. And so I think that I don't remember if we skated like last or if it was just like early enough that we were skated after one team, so we would have known we qualified. But we heard that one in the kiss and cry, and it was crazy.
Oof.
But yeah, I don't know. It's but nationals they don't always go in reverse order, do they, or do they now?
Uh,
Because sometimes they do draw for nationals, which will be extra fun.
Remember when we did draw one time and we were late and we were running through the lobby and he was like,
Yes.
"Can the two of you go to draw?" And we are like, "Where is it? Where do we
Yeah.
go?"
I
Yeah,
hope because I think they stopped doing it for COVID, but I hope they have a draw this year just to give us that extra drama and little spice that we need.
I think it's gonna be
Don't
really
have Hayden skate last because we all know that they're going to get like 170. Like we'll get straight 10. Like honestly, they've already been getting like astronomical scores this year. So I don't really know how much higher it can get, but they'll probably just get straight fives and straight tens at nationals. Um they will get the first perfect score. Um, but yeah, can we have either Sky or Miami skate last? Please.
yes, please.
Back to back, second to last and last, just for the drama because we need it.
Yeah. All right.
Um, oh,
Let's
collegiate. We haven't touched collegiate yet.
Oh my God, we haven't touched collegiate.
We have so much. This is already so long.
I know.
Okay, we'll make this a speed round.
Okay, let's just touch on, okay, for collegiate, let's just touch on like who we think is going to be like the top four teams. Let me find collegiate, juvenile.
Miami.
Oh yeah,
I
Miami's
don't
gonna
think
win.
there's Miami's one of the last 13, 14 seasons, something like that. We all know Miami's gonna be in the top. I think Northern Nets were actually quite close to them at mids,
Oh,
as was Trine. Trine was way up there too. So that'll be exciting to watch.
I personally think, okay, so UD, Miami, Adrian, Boston College, UMass, Western, Michigan, Trine, Michigan State, Northernettes, Excel, Boston University. Okay, I'm
Excel to skate order.
predicting,
Let's go.
I'm predicting Miami's gonna win. They are so
Mhm.
solid. They are, in my opinion, like they're the best collegiate team. Like their programs are always so clean. big fan of Miami. I think Northern Nets are going to end up second in their first national championships as a team. And then honestly, I think Trine's going to get third. I think Trine might end up in third. I'm rooting for them.
Yeah,
I'm a
I
big
think Trine and Northern Nets could be a toss up. I think Western was also pretty good this year from what I remember seeing. I didn't
yes.
watch the programs, but I saw the results.
They skate to
I think they
Kesha.
were pretty high there. They are,
I want to skate to
dude.
Kesha.
They always have so many fun programs. I would love to skate to Kesha. I was obsessed with Kesha when I was in high school. Um, but she came to my college too, my freshman year. But yeah, no, but I remember when they skated to Macklemore too. Like they always have the most fun programs. They were so good that year too. I think they were. We all thought they were going to win nationals. That was my first year in collegiate. Um,
I don't
Udell
know.
always really solid. Team Excel is pretty good in collegiate too. Um,
Collegiate's going to be hard because
well,
I feel like Miami and Northern Nets are at the top, and then it's really going to be like a little mix in the middle, and then like the bottom half is going to be kind of like however everybody skates, to be honest.
yeah. Did Shrine or Northern Nets come in second at mids? Because I think they were only 1 point apart. I think they had like 100 and 101 or 99 and 100 or something like that.
I want to say Trine came in third, and Northern Nets
Okay.
beat them.
I know Northern Nets are skating to Prince, I think. I don't think
Mhm.
I've seen Shrine's pro
They skate
or
to
Eclipse.
Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, cool.
So theirs is like I want to say it's kind of similar to Skies in the vibe that it's not your classic Romeo and Juliet. It's got that like darker undertone to it. It gives Sky, but like collegiate Sky. You know what I mean?
Got it.
It's like they
Mhm.
have tricks in there, and I think that their tricks are really cool. And I think that they do collegiate extremely well. Like Rachel
Yeah.
and Rosie have designed that program really well to make them all look like incredible skaters. Like I think Trine is on their way to like give a lot of people a run for their money when it comes to like getting kids and like having enough teams. Like I feel like at some point they're gonna have to have a senior team or like an elite 12 team. Like they're gonna run
Yeah,
out of
it's really exciting.
go.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see that program has grown over the years because I feel like it was maybe not even 5 years old or so, or they're relatively new, but they've had a lot of success and they're definitely pulling in a lot of skaters and rightfully so because like seems like it's a good community, like people are happy there and
Yeah.
like the programs are good, the dresses are stunning. Um like good
I
for
mean,
them. They're on top of it.
who wouldn't want Rosie as your coach? Like I love Rosie. Rosie is one of the
She's
sweetest people I've ever met in my entire life. So like kudos to Rosie for being an awesome person.
absolutely, we love you, Rosie.
I love you, Rosie. All right. And then we're not really going to touch too much on adult, but we do want to make a couple of shout outs to our friends that skate adult. So, Brittany, Bread, good luck. You're going to crush it. Also Emily Scharf. She used to be my roommate. She's also going to crush it. Those I think are the only two people that I know that skate adult right now. Those are like my only friends in adult.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say bread. DC Edge Adult is always so good. But bread, good luck. You're the best. I know Elizabeth and Carlin, and then a bunch of other people that I skated with too, I think, over the years. But mainly Elizabeth and Carlin are on DC Edge Adult and last or sorry, not DC Edge, EDC, Esprit de Corps Adult. And last year they didn't make it to nationals, which was insane to me because like they have like a bunch of X Hated Nuts and X Luxets as their entire team for the most part. But this year they're coming back with a fury. They're coming back with a passion. They won Easterns, and I think that they could take the whole thing because I feel like DC Edge is usually way up there. Crystal Adult's usually really good too, but EDC is always usually a medal contender at nationals. But this year, like bring it home. They should just win. I want them to win for the drama. You know, like we're here for the plot, and that is what we need.
Yeah.
I don't know what else is going on in adult this year. I haven't stayed too connected, but I would love to see EDC come through with that dub because if you didn't make it last year, like that would be the sweetest revenge.
Pop off with the dog. That'd be so. Yeah, I don't really watch adult too much. Everyone says I should skate adult, but I don't want to. I'm good. I don't want to skate adult. But I think it'll be fun to watch all of our friends compete. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. Well, that's kind of like our nationals recap. We asked for your like listener questions earlier, not listener questions because y'all aren't really listening. But like Instagram questions, and we kind of touched on all of them. People were like, "What are your world team predictions?" Like, what did you guys like about nationals? Like all that kind of stuff. So we kind of touched on all that. But don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notifications and bring the notification bell so you can make sure that you get our videos when we post them. Follow us on all social media platforms. We're really out here trying to make this like an actual like YouTube podcast. Follow us on everything. It's like super fun. But but yeah. Anything else before we sign off, Elsie?
I don't know. We will see you guys at nationals. Thank you for the few of you who actually sat through and watched this like 2 hours long of us talking about skating. And basically just talking about all of our trauma from skating over the past 20 years. But yeah, hopefully we will see you at nationals and we will interview you with like a skate guard or something weird and just, we'll be out there vibing. So come hang out with us. We miss you and very excited to watch.
Yeah. We'll see you guys at nationals. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.